So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix channel. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared engineering services examination 2 times from electronics and telecommunication branch, both times in double digit rank. In 2014 my rank was 98 and in 2015 my rank was 25th. I have served as a Group A Gastro Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. So most of you must have been following me on the Creatrix channel for electromagnetic field theory. So if you are a seeker of a free education, this is the channel for you, and you must understand that all these free initiatives is coming your way because of the Unacademy. So Unacademy is the revolution in the field of the free education and the affordable education. So how can you access those free courses? So if you want to access the free courses, you must immediately subscribe this channel, Creatrix channel, because all the top educators of the country is providing the free course on this channel. And that free course is absolutely brilliant in content, that is systematic, that is organized, and that is complete. So complete playlist you will be getting of a particular subject. You can develop the concept, you can gain confidence. More than that, you can love the subject. So immediately subscribe this channel. Secondly, if you want to access more free content, then you must immediately download the Unacademy Learners app, because on the Unacademy Learners app, top educators of the country are conducting the free special classes. In that free special classes, you can get topic wise clarity of a particular concept. And do not forget to follow me on the Unacademy Learning app. So you can also access the courses. So you must have two things. First is your YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, Creatrix YouTube channel, must be subscribed. Secondly, you must understand that you should have the Unacademy Learning app. That is must for you in order to crack the examination. So these are the parts of the free education. And if you want to organize your content well, if you want more comprehensive manner, if you want other advantages of the Unacademy, then what are the other initiatives that is running by the Unacademy? So another initiative that is running by the Unacademy is Unacademy Plus. So on the Unacademy Plus, this is very affordable for those who actually want to take their preparation to the next level. So आपको Unacademy Plus में क्या क्या मिलेगा? You will be getting the live classes on a fixed time, so that you can get more disciplined, you can get more organized, and you have something in your mind that at this particular time my classes are going to run. Apart from that, you will get free test series designed by the educator itself. So gone those times when we have lot of errors in the test series, we do not have the discussions of the test series. So there the test series will be conducted by the educators. They themselves will be discussing the solutions of that particular thing. So you can imagine that your preparation is going to the next level for this. Apart from that, those who have prepared themselves for the examination, so for them there are crash courses also available. Again the crash courses will going to help you in achieve good ranks. Those who have already achieved good ranks and want to improve their rank, for them there are rank improvement batches. More than that, you can also see that there are unlimited practice sessions. So what do you understand by unlimited practice session? Which means there will be various doubt solving sessions. Apart from the doubt solving sessions, there are weekly quizzes, and with the help of those weekly quizzes you can enhance your problem solving skills. So lot of unlimited doubt solving sessions, lot of quiz sessions, systematic content, structured content. You can download the PDF after the lectures, so you don't have to waste your time in order to making notes. You can utilize those times to practice the particular concepts, or you can use those times to just write down the formulas so that you can remember those formulas quickly. Apart from this plus subscription, there is also one subscription which is known as Iconic. So Iconic subscriptions are for them who actually do not have the self motivation but having the talent. So if they are having the talent and you do not have the self motivation, that how can I push myself to crack the examination, so in this Iconic subscription you will be assigned a personal coach. So this personal coach is going to be with you every time, and he will help you to achieve your dreams. You will get a study planner which will be customized for you. You will get the expert guidelines who have already topped the examination. They will be basically hand holding you to crack the examination. So if you think you are not self motivated, if you think you do not have the proper background to crack any particular competitive examination, so this Iconic subscription is must for you. This is going to help you. So if you want the free education, then YouTube channel and the special classes are must for you. And if you can afford a little bit, how much you should afford, that we'll discuss in a while. But if you can afford a little bit, you should come on to this Unacademy Plus. And more than that, if you want the expedited process in your preparation, आप जल्दी से एग्जाम निकालना चाहते हैं, जल्दी से अपनी गलतियां सुधारना चाहते हैं, so this Iconic subscription is for you. Then now let us start today's lecture, which is on the communication system. So now let us start the lecture.
Hello friends. So in the last lecture we studied about the Fourier series, that how a trigonometric Fourier series and a complex Fourier series helps us in finding the frequency component of a non-sinusoidal periodic signals. So in this class we will try to understand symmetry properties between time and frequency domain. So I'm writing time domain here and frequency domain here. And we have to see interrelation between these two domains. So first of all, what I will do, I will denote my time domain signal x of t. Until now we have understood that whether it is C1 or x omega of Fourier transform helps us in finding the frequencies of a signal. So what happens if x of t is real? Whenever x of t is real, the Cn or x omega is conjugate symmetric. Second, whenever x of t is purely imaginary, it is conjugate anti-symmetric. Now, whenever it is conjugate symmetric, frequency domain becomes real, and when it is conjugate anti-symmetric, frequency domain becomes purely imaginary. Apart from this, whenever time domain is even, it must also be even, and whenever it is odd, it must also be odd. Whenever it is real and even, it is also real and even. Whenever it is real and odd, it is purely imaginary and odd. Whenever it is imaginary and odd, it is also imaginary and even. And whenever it is imaginary and odd, it becomes real and odd. So these are the relation between symmetries of time domain and frequency domain. So now one more property is that whenever x of t is real, then if you are finding its Fourier transform, it will have some magnitude and some phase. Then this magnitude spectrum, that is x omega versus omega, is always even, and angle of x omega versus omega is always odd. This happens only when x of t is real. Otherwise, we cannot say this. Similarly, if x of t has Fourier series coefficient Cn, it will have magnitude of Cn and e to the power j angle of Cn. Then the magnitude of Cn versus n omega naught graph will always be even, and angle of Cn versus n omega naught graph will always be odd. So this is very important relation which you should remember, and this is true only when x of t is real. Now let us move on to the effect of symmetries on Fourier series coefficient. So for actually seeing the symmetry, let me limit this x of t to be real. So I'm assuming that x of t is always real. Now we have to see what happens on the Fourier series coefficient when we will use the symmetry. So first symmetry I'm using, that is even symmetry. We know that whenever x of t is even, in that case Cn will also be even. So C minus n will always be equal to Cn. We know that we can write C minus n as Cn conjugate when x of t is real. Because x of t is real, then we can write x of t equal to x conjugate t, and by taking Fourier series both the sides, it becomes Cn is equal to C minus n conjugate, or we can write C minus n as Cn conjugate. We have already understood that Cn equal to An by 2 minus j Bn by 2. So C minus n becomes Cn conjugate, which is An by 2 plus jbn by 2. So from here I can write A minus n as An by 2 plus jbn by 2 equal to An by 2 minus jbn by 2. This n by 2 gets cancelled, and from here we get bn equal to 0, which means whenever a function is even, in all that cases the Fourier series coefficient a0 may or may not be equal to 0. An is never 0, but bn will always be 0. So this you have to remember. Whenever signal is even, we need not to calculate all the parameters, we will calculate only a0 and an. In the second case, I am assuming my x of t to be odd. We know that if x of t is odd, in that case Cn will also be odd. So whenever Cn is odd, we can write Cn equal to minus of minus Cn. We have calculated the values of Cn and minus Cn. So it becomes An by 2 plus jbn by 2, or minus An by 2 plus jbn by 2. This bn by 2 gets cancelled, and we get An equal to 0. So whenever a signal is odd, in all that cases the a0 will always be 0, an will also be 0, and bn will never be 0. So whenever you have to calculate the Fourier series coefficient of an odd signal, you have to calculate only bn. Now whenever x of t is half wave symmetry. What is half wave symmetry? Half wave symmetry means if any signal satisfies this type of symmetry, in which if the signal is shifted t0 by 2, which is half of the time period, either by left or right, then we get the inverted signal, which means if we have to obtain this x of t, then the x of t can be also obtained by shifting this graph by t0 unit, because it is periodic. So in this case, whenever x of t is periodic, you can obtain the same signal by shifting it by t0. But whenever you shift a periodic signal by half of the time period, that is t0, and you get this relation, then this signal x of t is called as half wave symmetric signal. So what we can say, this x of t, in this case this x of t is minus x of t plus t0 by 2. This means this property should be held at every point. So if I will put t equal to 0 plus, then I can say that x of 0 plus should be equal to minus of x of t0 by 2 plus. So whenever we have to check the half wave symmetry, we will choose 2 points. One is 0 plus, another was t0 by 2 plus, and at those points the magnitude should be equal and opposite. So whenever you have to check half wave symmetry, take a point t equal to 0 plus, and at this particular point the magnitude should be equal as well as opposite. Now let us calculate about the Fourier series coefficients. Now we know that whenever Fourier series coefficient of xt is Cn, then Fourier series coefficient of x of t plus t0 by 2 or t minus t0 by 2 becomes e to the power plus minus jn omega naught t0 by 2 Cn. So we know that omega naught t0 is equal to 2 pi. So you can write it as e to the power plus minus jn pi Cn. We know that e to the power plus j pi or minus j pi becomes minus 1 to the power n. So e to the power jn pi, whether it is plus or minus 1, it becomes minus 1 to the power n. So we know that for half wave symmetry, x of t must be equal to minus of x of t plus t0 by 2. Now if we take Fourier series coefficient of these two signals, then the Fourier series coefficient of xt is Cn, and the Fourier series coefficient of this particular signal is this. Now we can write it as 1 plus minus 1 to the power n equal to 0. So what happens from here? Whenever n is odd, it becomes Cn into 1 minus 1 to the power some odd power, and whenever power is odd, it becomes minus 1, and we get Cn into 0 equal to 0. So this relation is independent of Cn, which means Cn should not be equal to 0 whenever n is odd. Now whenever we will take n is even, so it becomes 2Cn equal to 0 or Cn equal to 0. So you can also calculate exactly at n equal to 0. Exactly at n equal to 0, it becomes Cn 1 plus 1 equal to 0 or C naught equal to 0. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that whenever x of t is half wave symmetric, in all those cases, Cn equal to 0 for n even, Cn not equal to 0 for n odd, and C naught is 0. So whenever signal is 0, DC component is always 0. Even harmonics, which means the terms related with C2, C4, C6 and so on are 0, and only odd harmonics, which means terms related with C1, C3, C5 exist. So whenever a signal is half wave symmetric, it contains only odd harmonics. So whenever signal is odd half wave symmetric, it only contains odd harmonics. So from here we can also see that whenever a signal is half wave symmetric, C naught is always 0, Cn is 0 for n even, and Cn is non-zero for n odd. And also you can write from here that A naught equal to 0, An equal to 0 whenever n is even, and An Bn is non-zero whenever n is odd. So whenever half wave symmetry exists, the signal contains only odd harmonics. Now what will happen if a signal is even as well as half wave symmetric? So what we can say? Now first of all, let me make this signal even. So if it is even, in that case A naught may or may not be equal to 0, An is never 0, and Bn is always 0. And along with this, if I will make it half wave symmetric, then A naught will surely become 0. A naught will become 0 for n even, because it will contain only odd harmonics. Bn was earlier 0, so Bn will also become 0. So it will contain only odd harmonics of cosine. Similarly, if x of t becomes odd as well as half wave symmetric, then this x of t odd makes this A naught 0, this An 0, and this Bn non-zero. So what happens after applying the filter of half wave symmetric? This A naught becomes 0, this An becomes 0, and now this Bn becomes 0 for all the values of n even. In this case, it contains all the odd harmonics of sine. Now let me summarize all these points. Here I am writing the x of t, and here I am writing about the Cn. So Whenever x of t is even, in that case, a naught may be 0 or may not be 0. An is never 0, bn is always 0. Whenever it is odd, a naught is surely 0, an is surely 0, but bn is not equal to 0. Whenever it is half wave symmetric, in that case a naught 0 and an and bn are also 0 for even values of n, or only odd harmonics exist. Now if it is even plus half wave symmetric, in that case a naught will become 0, an will become 0 for n even, and bn is always 0. And if it is odd plus half wave symmetric, then a naught is 0, an is 0, and bn is non-zero for all values of n which is even. So this is the effect of symmetry on Fourier series coefficient. One more important property you should notice, that if we have Fourier series coefficient of xt as Cn for n not equal to 0 and C naught for n equal to 0, then Fourier series coefficient of a plus xt will become Cn for n not equal to 0 and a plus C naught for n equal to 0. Means effect of DC will only be seen on C naught. We cannot add any a whenever n is not equal to 0, or we can say that addition of a DC value affects only a naught, C naught or R naught. It does not affect calculation of Cn or An or Bn or Rn. So this property is also important. Now let us see the procedure to calculate the harmonics present in the time domain signal. So first of all, we will calculate the omega naught and t naught. Secondly, we will calculate C naught. From here, we can say if C naught equal to 0, we will check half wave symmetry in xt. To check the half wave symmetry, we will take a point x of 0 plus and a point t naught by 2 plus. If these are equal and opposite, then half wave symmetry is verified or it exists, and we can say that only odd harmonics will be present. If C naught is not equal to 0, then we will check half wave symmetry in x of t plus minus C naught. If x of t plus minus C naught has half wave symmetry, which means x of t plus minus C naught has odd harmonics, we will take this C naught on the right side, or this x of t will have DC plus odd harmonics. So this is our second step. If C naught is 0, then we will proceed to check the half wave symmetry in xt, and to check the half wave symmetry we will use this x of 0 plus and x of t naught by 2 plus point, and if the sign is minus, then half wave symmetry will exist and x of t will contain odd harmonics. If C naught does not come out to be 0, we will again check the half wave symmetry in x of t plus minus C naught, and if it comes out to be half wave symmetric, then x of t plus minus C naught will be half wave symmetric, which means x of t plus minus C naught will have odd harmonics. I can take this C naught on the right side, then x of t will have dc plus odd harmonics. Now, if half wave symmetry cannot be determined in both xt and xt plus minus c naught till step 2, then half wave symmetry will not exist. Then to calculate harmonics present in xt, we will calculate harmonics at which magnitude of Cn is not equal to 0. So this is the procedure to calculate the harmonics present in a periodic signal. First of all, we will calculate T naught omega naught. Then we will calculate C naught. If C naught is 0, then we will proceed to check half wave symmetry. If C naught is not 0, then we will proceed to check half wave symmetry in xt plus minus C naught. And if half wave symmetry does not exist in xt or x of t plus minus C naught, then half wave symmetry will never exist, and we will simply calculate Cn and we will try to check the harmonics at which magnitude of Cm becomes non-zero. Now we will check the procedure to calculate Fourier series coefficient by Fourier transform or Laplace transform. Suppose we have a periodic signal something like this. This is the periodic signal, and this is the time period from minus t naught by 2 to plus t naught by 2. So this is the time period which is minus t naught by 2 to plus t naught by 2. So first of all, we will take the signal of one time period only. So we will consider the signal for one time period only, which means only this portion of signal. Which is minus t naught by 2 to t naught by 2. So this is the signal of one time period. Now we will try to find out the Fourier transform or the Laplace transform, whichever seems to be easier. So we will calculate the Fourier transform or the Laplace transform, whichever seems to be easier. So if we have calculated the Laplace transform of x of t in one time period, then the Fourier series coefficient will become x of s by t naught, and we will replace this x by j omega first. So it becomes x of j omega by t naught, and then we will replace this omega with n omega naught. So it becomes x of j n omega naught upon t naught. This will give us Cn. Or if we have calculated the Fourier transform of one time period, that is x of j omega, then the Fourier series coefficient will become f of j omega by t naught. Now we will replace this omega by n omega naught. So it becomes j n omega naught upon t naught. So these two are also simpler methods to calculate the Fourier series coefficient, but in this case you have to calculate the Fourier transform or Laplace transform of the signal of duration one time period only. So in this case, you can also calculate the Fourier series coefficient, and this is up to you to decide whether you are comfortable in calculating the Laplace transform or the Fourier transform. Few signals Laplace transform calculation will be easy, and for few signals the Fourier transforms calculation will be easy. Now, what is the formula for Fourier transform of a periodic signal? We know that x of t is periodic with time period t naught. So we can always calculate its Fourier series coefficient, which is Cn. Now if I have to calculate the Fourier transform, then the Fourier transform x of omega is 2 pi summation of Cn del of omega minus n omega naught, where omega naught is fundamental time period 2 pi by t naught. Or you can write x of f as summation of Cn del of f minus nf naught. So this is the calculation of the Fourier transform of a periodic signal. Now let us try to have Fourier series and Fourier transform of periodic signals. So first signal I am taking as impulse train. So this is our impulse train. It will have series of impulses, one at 0, t naught, 2 t naught, and so on. Here also minus t naught, minus 2 t naught. This is x of t versus t. Now from here we know that it will have c naught equal to 1 by t naught and Cn equal to 1 by t naught. You can also calculate it by the formula of the Laplace transform. This is minus t naught by 2 to t naught by 2. So in this time period, this signal x of t naught into t is del t. We know that Laplace transform of del t is 1. So the Cn will become x of jn omega naught by t naught. So whenever we will put here jn omega naught, this becomes 1 and it comes out to be 1 by t naught. So from here the Fourier series coefficient Cn comes out to be 1 by t naught. Next standard signal is rectangular pulse train. So this rectangular pulse train can be drawn something like this. This is the rectangular pulse train. This point you can consider as minus t1. This point you can consider it as t1. And somewhere this is 0, this is t naught, and let me consider this amplitude as a. So here the c naught comes out to be 2a to t1 by t naught into a, and Cn comes out to be c naught sinc n to t1 by t naught. So this is the formula for this particular Fourier series coefficient of this signal. So this signal is very important and we have to remember this particular signal. Now suppose we have to calculate Fourier series coefficient of this particular signal, which is a symmetrical square wave. So this comes out to be minus T naught by 2. Let me consider this as T naught by 2. This point becomes A and this point becomes minus A. So what I will do, I will convert this signal into my standard, which I have written earlier. So before that, I will calculate C naught. So we know that C naught is nothing but area in one time period divided by time period. So from here, C naught comes out to be 0 by T naught, or 0, because area in one time period comes out to be 0 from here. This point will become minus T naught by 4. This point will become T naught by 4. So the area in this duration is positive and in this 2 duration area is negative. So overall area becomes 0 and C naught is nothing but area in one time period upon time period. Now for the calculation of Cn, what I will do, I will construct another signal which is A plus xt. So I will add A in this. So this curve shifts completely upside. And now I can use the result of standard expression which I have derived. So this point becomes minus T naught by 4. This point becomes T naught by 4. This point becomes 3 T naught by 4 and it becomes T naught. Now the amplitude becomes 2A. So from here I can write Cn as 2A into this width is T naught by 2. So this is T naught by 2 upon T naught sinc n 2 into T naught by 4 upon T naught. So from here the Cn comes out to be for A plus xt, the Cn comes out to be async n by 2. We can write it as A sine n pi by 2 upon n pi by 2, or you can write it as 2A upon n pi sine n pi by 2. So what about xt? We know that if the Fourier series coefficient of xt is C naught and Cn, we have calculated C naught for xt and it comes out to be 0. And Cn we wanted to calculate. And for A plus xt, which is g of t, we know that the Cn comes out to be 2A upon n pi sine n pi by 2, and for this particular signal C naught will be area of one time period upon time period. So what is the area of one time period? For this signal C naught is area of one time period, which is 2A into T naught by 2 upon one time period T naught. So from here it comes out to be A. So for this it becomes A. So the Fourier series coefficient of A plus xt has C naught as A and Cn as this. So what about xt? We will subtract A from both the sides. So it will become C naught equal to 0. The addition or subtraction of a DC value does not affect the value of Cn. So the Cn remains same, which is sine n pi by 2. So now you can observe that for this particular signal, which was symmetrical square wave, we got C naught as 0 and Cn as 2a upon n pi sine n pi by 2. From here you can also observe that Cn is always 0 whenever n is even, because it will become multiple of pi, and C1 is never 0 when n is odd. So this symmetrical square wave has mod Cn not equal to 0 for n odd, which means it contains only odd harmonics. Now if I have to write its Fourier transform, I will use the formula summation of n equal to minus infinity to infinity 2 pi Cn del of omega minus n omega naught. So I can write it as summation of n equal to minus infinite to infinite 2 pi Cn is 2a upon n pi sine n pi by 2 del of omega minus n omega naught. So in this way we can write its Fourier series coefficient, and we can also calculate the harmonics present in any particular signal. Now suppose the signal is given something like this. This is minus t naught by 6. This is t naught by 6. This is x of t. This is your a. This point is 0. This point is t naught. Now we have to calculate harmonics present in it. So we will move to our procedure. Now first of all I will calculate its C naught. So what will be C naught? C naught is area in one time period upon time period. So whenever I will calculate the area in one time period, it comes out to be A into T naught by 3 upon T naught, or A by 3. So I will shift this graph by A by 3. So let me shift this graph by A by 3. So it becomes 2A by 3, and this becomes minus A by 3. So let me check the half wave symmetry here. So I will take 2 points 0 and somewhere here T naught by 2, because now this point is T naught. So I will calculate the value at 0 plus. The value at 0 plus is 2A by 3, and the value at T naught by 2 plus is minus A by 3. So from here x of 0 plus comes out to be 2A by 3, and x of T naught by 2 plus comes out to be minus A by 3, which means x of 0 plus is not equal to x of T naught by 2 plus, and the signal is not half wave symmetric. So neither this signal was half wave symmetric. Here also if you calculate, this value is A, and somewhere in between at T naught by 2 it is 0. So first of all we calculated C naught. C naught was non-zero, so we shifted our graph by C naught. Even after by shifting by C naught, or in the graph of xt minus C naught, this function does not become half wave symmetric. So we will again go to x of t and we will calculate mod Cn, and we will check for which values of n this mod Cn becomes non-zero. So we know that for calculation of Cn of this particular signal, C naught becomes, this is our standard signal. So what you can do, you can use the direct formula. So from here, that this is the value of minus t1, this is the value of t1. So we know that for all these cases, C naught becomes 2a into t1 by t naught when n is equal to 0, and it becomes a into 2t1 by t naught sinc n 2t1 by t naught whenever n is not equal to 0. And what is t1 here? T1 is your t naught by 6. So you can write this function as a by 3 for n equal to 0 and a by 3 sinc n by 3 for n not equal to 0. We know that sinc function is 0 for t equal to k, where k is all integers except k equal to 0. So if we calculate mod Cn, so mod Cn becomes a by 3 mod of sinc n by 3, or you can write mod Cn becomes 0 when n by 3 is k, where k comes out to be plus minus 1, plus minus 2 and so on, or n equal to 3k, which means the harmonics of multiple of 3 are absent from the signal, which means the harmonics of 3f0, 6f0, 9f0 are missing. So what are the harmonics present in x of t? The harmonics present in x of t is dc because c0 is non-zero, and f0, 2f0, but 3f0 is missing. So 4f0, 5f0, but 6f0 is missing, 7f0 and so on. So all the multiples of 3f0 frequencies are missing in this particular signal. Now you can see another example, which is the example of sawtooth waveform. So let me first of all draw this sawtooth waveform. This is your signal x of t, and this is the sawtooth waveform. This is 0, t0, 2t0, 3t0 and so on, and this is your amplitude A. So we have to calculate the frequency components present in it. So first off, we will start by the same procedure. We will calculate C0. So what is C0 here? Area in one time period, which is half base into height, because in one time period it is a triangle, divided by time period, so it comes out to be a by 2. Since C0 is non-zero, so we will always check the half wave symmetry in x of t minus C0. So whenever we will make x of t minus C0, which means we will shift it by 1 by 2, then the graph will become something like this, and this point becomes t0, this point becomes 2t0, and somewhere in between it becomes t0 by 2. So here we have to check x of 0 plus, and this is the levels of a by 2, and all these levels are minus a by 2. So if we will calculate x of 0 plus, so you can see from here this is the 0 point, and x of 0 plus is roughly minus a by 2, and you have to calculate x of t0 by 2 plus, and x of t0 by 2 plus is roughly 0, and you can see these are not equal and opposite, which means half wave symmetry is not existing even x of t plus minus c0. So we have to move again on x of t and have to calculate its Cn and find out the values at which mod Cn becomes 0. So I am a king getting back to my Cn. So this is your 0, sorry, this is x of t, and this is 0 t naught, 2 t naught, 3 t naught, and so on. And all these values becomes a. So here I will extract one time period of my signal, because here I think that Laplace transform calculation will give much better answer as compared to the normal calculation. So normal calculation will become lengthy, so I will use the Laplace transforms formula. So I will extract my signal in one time period. So this is my signal in one time period from 0 to t naught. So I can write this signal as the slope is a by t naught. So this signal becomes a by t naught into t, u of t minus u of t minus t naught. So I can write it as a by t naught into t ut minus at by t naught u of t minus t naught. So I can write it as a by t naught tut minus a by t naught. I can write this t as t minus t naught plus t naught, so that I can make some symmetric expression and I can use direct Laplace transforms. So it becomes tut minus a by t naught t minus t naught u of t minus t naught and minus a by t naught into t naught u of t minus t naught. So upon solving, we get x of t naught t equal to at by t naught into ut minus a of t minus t naught u of t minus t naught by t naught and minus a u of t minus t naught. So let me calculate the Laplace transforms. It becomes at by t naught, sorry, the Laplace transform is tut is 1 by s square minus Laplace transform of this particular quantity becomes minus a by t naught e to the power minus st naught by s square minus a into e to the power minus st naught by s. So we will put here s equal to j omega. After that we will convert it in jn omega naught. So the value of s becomes jn omega naught and the value of st naught becomes jn omega naught t naught. We know that omega naught equal to 2 pi by t naught, or omega naught t naught can be written as 2 pi. So it becomes jn 2 pi. So let me put all these values here. It will become a by t naught jn omega naught whole square minus a by t naught e power minus jn 2 pi upon jn omega naught whole square. And minus e to the power minus jn omega naught t naught upon jn omega naught. So we know that value of e to the power minus jn 2 pi is always equal to 1. So these two terms, a upon t naught jn omega naught whole square minus a by t naught 1 upon jn omega naught whole square, because I have put the value of this particular exponential as 1, and minus a, this also becomes jn omega naught t naught or jn 2 pi. So this also becomes 1 and it becomes a upon jn omega naught. These two gets cancelled out and finally we get x of jn omega naught as minus a upon jn omega naught. And we know that Cn is nothing but x of jn omega naught upon t naught. So this comes out to be minus a upon jn omega naught t naught or minus a upon jn 2 pi. So for this sawtooth waveform, we have calculated Cn as a by 2 for n equal to 0 and minus a upon jn2 pi for n not equal to 0, and you can see that magnitude of Cn is not 0 for any value of n, which means this sawtooth waveform contains all the harmonics which is 0, f0, 2f0, 3f0 and so on. So this x of t contains all the harmonics which is present in signal x of t. Now let us see few standard half-wave symmetric signals. So first of all, first standard half-wave symmetric signal is symmetrical square wave. So the symmetrical square waves looks like this. Symmetrical means a square wave which is even in nature. So this square wave is even in nature. This is x of t versus t. This is 0. This is t naught. And this is t naught by 2. From here you can calculate that area in one time period is 0, which means C naught will be 0, and the value at 0 plus is A, and the value at t naught by 2 plus is minus A, which is equal and opposite. So it is half-wave symmetric and it contains frequencies of 3f0, 5f0 and so on. Next standard half-wave symmetric signal is asymmetrical square wave. So the asymmetrical square wave is nothing but an odd square wave. So the waveform will look something like this. It is also an square wave, but it has odd nature. This is the asymmetrical square wave. So this becomes 0. This is t naught by 2. This is t naught. Here also you can notice that area in one time period is 0. So from here also C naught becomes 0. Now you have to calculate value at 0 plus and value at t naught by 2 plus. These values are equal and opposite, so it also has half-wave symmetry, and the frequencies present will be 3f0, 5f0 and so on. Third important signal is symmetrical triangular wave. Symmetrical triangular wave. So let me make the diagram of the symmetrical triangular wave. Again, the symmetrical triangular wave means the wave which is even in nature. So this is the triangular wave. This is x of t versus t. This point is 0. This is t naught by 2. This is t naught. This point is A. This point is minus A. Here also you can see that the area in one time period becomes 0, which means C naught 0 means no DC component. Also you can see value at 0 plus is roughly A and value at t naught by 2 plus is roughly minus A, which is equal and opposite. So this signal is half-wave symmetric and it will contain frequencies of f0, 3f0, 5f0 and so on. Next category of signal is symmetrical triangular wave. which means triangular wave which has odd symmetry. So the triangular wave which has odd symmetry can be drawn like this. So this is your odd triangular wave. This will become 0. This point is T0 by 2. This point is T0. So here you can see area in complete time period comes out to be 0. And if area in complete time period is 0, then C0 will become 0, which means DC component will become 0. And if you'll calculate value at 0 plus, it is roughly 0. And value at T0 by plus, it is also roughly 0. So you can say that half wave symmetry will exist, and it will also contain frequency components of F0, 3F0, 5F0 and so on. Now let us see few other standard signals which does not possess the half wave symmetry, rather they have another type of symmetries. So first of all, I will talk about the pulse train. If we have a pulse train, in which this point is T0 by A and this point is T0 by A, this is 0 and this is T0. So in these types of signals, frequency absent will be at multiple of n equal to Ka by 2, where K starts from 1 to 3, and we can see that in one time period area is not 0, so C0 will non-zero. So it will also contain DC. Next is triangular pulse train. So this is the triangular pulse train. This becomes minus T0 by A to T0 by A, and if this is 0, this is the time period T0. So in this case, frequencies absent will be at multiples of n equal to Ka, where K starts from 1 to 3, and DC will always be present because in one time period the area is non-zero. Another two important categories, one is sawtooth. We have proved sometimes back that the sawtooth waveform contains all the possible frequencies in discrete manner. So this is your sawtooth waveform, and it contains all the frequencies, or we can say all discrete frequencies, 4F0, 5F0 and so on. So it contains all the frequencies at the integer multiples of fundamental frequency. Another category is impulse train. So if you draw the impulse train here, impulse train also contains all the possible frequencies in it, because you have already seen that Cn is also 1 by T0 for n equal to 0, and Cn is 1 by T0 for n not equal to 0, which means mod Cn is always not equal to 0. So it will have frequencies 0 f0, 2 f0, 3 f0, 4 f0 and so on. So these were the few standard signals which contains all the possible frequencies. Now let us try to solve this question. In this question it is saying that a periodic signal is given and it is passed to an ideal low pass filter whose frequency response will be shown. What will be the frequency at the output of the filter? So first of all, try to understand which type of signal is this. So this is your 5 millisecond and this is your 10 millisecond. So we have seen in this type of signals, we have to check what are the frequencies are present. So first of all, I will calculate C0. C0 means area in one time period. So this is your one time period. I will calculate the area. This C0 comes out to be, this is T0 by 2 and let me denote this as T0. So this area comes out to be A into T0 by 2 upon T0, or it comes out to be A by 2. So I will check half wave symmetry by shifting it downwards. So I have shifted it downwards. This is xt minus C0. So this xt minus C0 has this point as A by 2, this point as minus A by 2. So this point becomes 0, T0 by 2, T0. Now, in this signal, you can see that the value at t equal to 0 plus is A and the value at T0 by 2 plus is minus A by 2. So this signal is containing half wave symmetry, which means x of t minus C0 will have odd harmonics, which is f0, 3f0, 5f0 and so on. So x of t will have, this C0 will come this side, so it will become dc, f0, 3f0, 5f0 and so on. You can calculate the value of f0 from here. If t0 is 10 millisecond, then f0 will become 1 by 10 into 10 to the power minus 3, or you can write it as 0.1 kilohertz. So x of t will have 0, 0.1k, 0.3k, 0.5k, 0.7k, 0.9k and so on, 1.1k. These frequencies will be present in xt, but it is passed through a filter which has frequencies from minus 1k to 1k, or it is allowing only positive frequencies from 0 Hz to 1 kHz. So it will allow frequencies only up to 0.9 kHz. After that, it will not allow any frequency component. So it is asking what are the frequency components present at the output of the filter. So the frequency components will be 0, 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7 and 0.9 k. So thank you so much.
So if you have liked today's lecture and you want to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, the very first thing that you should understand that you should use this particular code. What is the code? The code is VishalGate. Write my name and attach gate to it. So by using this particular code, you will be getting all the advantages of the Unacademy Plus. All the added advantages will be directly assigned to you. Secondly, you will directly come to under my guidance, and that will surely help you to crack the examination in the least possible time, and you will also get the guidance of the complete team. Okay, and the most important thing is that you will immediately get the 10% discount on that. So immediately you are enabled to get 10% discount once you use this coupon code. So for example, if you talk about the plus subscription, which is costing you 25,000 for 1 year, and if you use this coupon code VishalGate, immediately you are going to get 10% discount, which is 22,500. And if you talk about the iconic, for the iconic subscription of the 12 month, this will cost you around 40,400. So these are the cost of the 12 months. And if you want to talk about the 2-year subscription, cost of the plus, it is your 27,000 after discount. if you want more discount than 10%, and you have already attended the special classes, then you will be having some credits in your account. Do not forget to use those credits so that you can get more discount than 10%. Now how can you pay these amounts? So there is one good news for you, that you can pay this amount by using credit cards and debit cards by using the facility of the zero cost EMI. So if you want to pay this particular amount of 22,500 with the help of zero cost EMI, so the zero cost EMI can be availed by using credit cards and debit cards. Remember, you can use the credit card of any company, but the debit card is allowed for HDFC and the Bajaj Finserv. Apart from that, if you want to directly pay this much of amount, you think that this particular amount is the most affordable fees that can be provided to you for 1 year subscription, तो आप directly क्या कर सकते हैं? You can use this credit card, debit card, direct payment. You can also go for the EMI options, okay, and you can directly pay this amount by using net banking. Every time you think of the Unacademy Plus subscription, the first thing that should come in your mind is this particular code. Do not forget to use this code once you take the subscription, because I have already told you that this particular coupon code is going to give you the lot of advantages, so you cannot miss the opportunity to use this code. So every student who want to come on to the Unacademy Plus, they want to take the advantages of the Unacademy Plus, they want to empower themselves in the best possible manner in this digital era, they want to be the part of this revolution, then this is the time for you. You do not have to wait for it. If you are in the first year, if you are in the second year, you are in the third year, the best possible time is right now to prepare for the examination, to dedicate yourself, to give yourself the opportunity so that you can get the success as early as possible. Apart from that, you should also join this GATE aspirant group. So this GATE aspirants group is already having 150k plus students, so you can join it. There are a lot of discussions going on between students. You can get the advantage of those discussions. Okay, you can also join this Creatrix channel, which is a Telegram channel. So everyone has to join this channel so that you can get all the PDFs of the lecture which is being assigned to you. Fine. There are various channels which you can go for it. So various channels in the association with Creatrix. So you can follow the channel of your interest. And this is it in today's lecture. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much.